Comfy cozy.
You ready?
I guess.
Welcome to the video, everybody. We're happy to have you here. We have a very special guest. She goes by a few different names. Camera wife, Megan, wifey, chef, laundry connoisseur, whatever you want to call her. She's here. We're glad to have you here. You're going to join in on the Q&A, correct?
I suppose.
And so will little Alfie Boy the King. Little Alfie has had some rough days / maybe even a week, but now he wants to say hi to all of you. You said Daddy?
Okay now.
So around every Valentine's Day, we have a tradition where we do a couples Q&A. So this is the annual marriage Q&A. We asked you guys to just leave us questions on Instagram. So if you guys aren't following me there, you can do so. We're gonna expose our entire marriage, from finances to children to what drives us crazy about one another. Pretty much anything that you might wanna know is gonna be in this video. So go ahead and like it and leave it, or subscribe if you have not already. Let's get into the first question. Couples happy place.
I think we're sitting on it.
I was gonna say that too. Yeah, we are such homebodies that we just like to be at home with the pup on the couch, watching some Netflix in our free time, especially with my crazy work schedule. Anytime we have time to spend with each other, it's nothing crazy. It's just...
It really isn't.
It's great.
I feel like it just signals to us that like we're done with what we need to get done, and now it's time to like relax and talk and...
just be with each other.
Yeah.
One of the most popular questions, do you guys keep your finances together or separate? An example, sharing bank accounts. The funny part is that I've always said that I would never share a bank account with anyone because you can't trust these women out here. But even when I met Megan and we were dating, I still thought, hey, we're not going to be sharing bank accounts because for me, personal finance is very important. I'm very controlling over that, and it just wasn't going to happen. And then one day, I'm having an off-the-cuff conversation with my sales director, and this is when we were dating, and he told me that when you become married, you ultimately just become one in every aspect. And that really resonated with me. So now we're at a point where, yes, our finances are essentially combined. We share the same belief in that, like, she doesn't need to come ask me before she spends money. I don't ask her before I spend money. But I will say, I'm pretty cheap. So I have to check her.
He does. He does check me.
Yeah. I mean, I never prevent you from buying anything. It never stops you from buying anything.
It gives me a little pause. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, you're right. I probably could have gotten a cheaper version. But I see both aspects. I think I've heard of like couples who will do a joint account for things like bills and the mortgage and stuff like that, and then they have separate bank accounts for like their spending money. I kind of like that idea, but again, it's all individual and what each person in the relationship is comfortable with. But I think you have more of like a team mindset, and to me it does make sense that you say you want things joint because you're like, we're one unit. Like you tell me that all the time. So.
Yeah, it's like, don't ask for permission. Like, we're just a family. If we think that we need something, we should just get it. And if we have to have a conversation, we have to have a conversation. We're both adults, and we can do that. The second most popular question, will there be babies? We've got this one probably ever since we got together.
Can I have my protein bar now?
Fun fact about Megan is that she gets extremely hangry. So this is a legitimate question, but I would say it's not a good question, and here's why. I didn't know this either, so for you single guys out there, just wait, because you spend your whole life trying not to have them, and then you get to a point where you're like, okay, let's have them now. It's not just putting on Marvin Gaye and you got a baby. Like, there's a lot that goes, like, it's not, you don't get to choose.
Not always.
Yeah, I mean, it's a process, right? And it's scary because even if you want kids, you might not be able to have them. So God willing, we'll have some kids. If it was up to us, yeah, we'd have one right now. But, it's a process and we're working through it together. Yep. And hopefully you guys will see Travis Jr. one day.
Or Megan. Wow. Okay. My fiance and I recently got a puppy. He's currently teething, biting nonstop. Any help? In the thick of it, you think that you're never going to get through it. And then this is your new reality. And Alfie was terrible when he was a puppy at biting. We couldn't even sit on the sofa without him just like attacking us. I thought I was never going to be through with the puppy and biting. And then all of a sudden they just kind of grow out of it. So I think a lot of like patience and continuing to like correct him with toys is a good, what do you remember? I mean, it's all kind of a blur.
We had to feed him Cheerios on the couch so he wouldn't bite us. My recommendation is don't do what we did. We were terrible at train. Like we didn't get him because he broke his leg, so we had to pull him out of training. So he needed professional training. He's not like a well-behaved dog. We love him to death. He's our everything. But he's just not a well-behaved dog. And still to this day, he bites a little bit.
He's mouthy. He's like terriers can be mouthy.
Yeah. So get some professional help for sure. It'll make your life so much easier in the long run. But yeah, I think time is just your best friend when it comes to something like that. Stick with it. I think what the people really want to know is how good do cut shirts look on guys?
The best.
If any women are watching this right now, do you recommend that they just go get cuts for all?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And it's not just like one of those things that people are just saying it to sell it. Like I promise, I would probably buy them if you didn't.
They're great.
Them. Yeah.
They're perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we'll get back to the questions now. What movies or TV shows are y'all enjoying? What's the one we just started today?
Inventing Anna on Netflix.
So good.
Yeah, that's a true story too. So
it's the actress from Ozark.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know shit about
I love that clip. What else have we been really liking? Trafficked on Hulu.
Yes, that one's good.
Such a good docuseries. I'm a big docuseries fan. I like to learn while I watch.
I don't watch it with you, but I watch Euphoria. That's good. Ozark was good, obviously.
I watched the entire new season in 2 days. Got a problem.
He's a binge watcher.
I am.
I like to flip through. I like to have multiple shows on rotation and then just watch one episode and then the next night watch something else because I get bored of the characters. I'm like, I don't want to see you again for a few days.
And I just power through it. It's like if I see 3 seasons, I'm like, okay, that's the mission, and then I'll be here.
Needs to be checked off.
I'll be here till the mission's accomplished. This Is Us. We like to watch that every week.
Yeah,
it's a good
sweet
show. We get this question almost every time, so just in case you are new here, where did y'all meet? We used to work for the same company, and I met Megan through work. A bit of a challenging question. How did you know each other was the one? You know, this is a tough one to answer. The way that I always answer this is that I just had no doubt.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was going to say too.
I remember when Josh, my best friend, asked me, hey, did you have any doubts before you asked Megan to marry you? So no, 100% I knew that this was the one for me. So this isn't the great advice, right? Because there's nothing you can apply, but I think you would just know. And my recommendation is if you have any doubt, if you have 2% doubt that person's not going to work out, do not get married, because marriage is hard. And even for us who were completely sure, we still have days where she wants to throw me out of the house, I want to throw her out of the house. And you're going to have that in marriage because you're with, hopefully you're with them a lot. So you're going to have disagreements. They're going to drive you crazy every now and again. But if you truly love someone, you love them for everything, the good, the bad, the things that drive you nuts. So yeah, I think you just kind of know. Ooh, Greg the Film Guy, who edits my videos, if you guys didn't know, how do you navigate discussing the tough stuff?
That's a good one.
It is.
I'd say I'm naturally a pretty closed off person. So I think some factors are knowing that you can trust that person when you want to discuss something with them, if it's just about you personally or if it's about the relationship. I think having that trust and knowing that they'll receive it well is important. But another thing, as I've grown older with discussing tough stuff, is that you feel closer to that person after you've had the conversation. So things that you've put off talking about, usually you're coming from a very vulnerable state, but that's when you grow with the person and you feel more close to them because you're exposing that vulnerable side.
I think you don't leave it out to just build up and something's on the other person's mind, but you just avoid it. I always know when something's bothering Megan.
He sees it in my face.
I see it in her face. Her eyes are different. Her body language is off. So then I have to make her laugh, and then we have to have the conversation.
have to.
Yeah, it's this whole process that we go through.
He does his steps.
Yeah. And when you're with someone and you know someone so well, you just start to figure it out. But I would say my biggest recommendation is just to don't avoid it and talk about it as soon and as candidly as you can, and leave nothing unsaid, because that will come back down the line. I can promise you. How can you deal with a sloppy partner? I'm really neat and it irritates me that they're messy. Let me just tell you how messy Megan is. All right, look at this house. dusty baseboards.
It's kind of one of those things where if it's a non-negotiable for you, either they're going to change because they know how important it is to you, or they're not, and you'll just have to decide if it's worth future fights. I don't know. I'm just big on my environment, and I know that it can change your mental state when there's just things lying around. So some people kind of brush it off like I'm just a control freak, but
I mean, our house is kind of like living in a museum. So
no, it's not.
I've learned, but the thing is, I get the benefit on the front end and the back end, because essentially if I cook, it'd be really messy. So then I don't cook because it would be messy.
He's game the system.
So then she cooks, she cleans. That sounds terrible. But yeah, she keeps the house very, very clean. I try to just like maneuver in a way where it's like, just don't mess anything up.
I don't want you to live like that.
That's how we compromise. So we've kind of already answered this, but I love talking about finance. So let's just talk about it again. How do you guys go about finances? We're getting married soon and would love some advice. As we alluded to, I'm more of a saver. Megan is a spender, but the thing is, you knew that more than likely before you married the person. And here's a little secret I'm gonna give to all you gentlemen out there. Dogs and women are very expensive. Very, very expensive. So if you think you need $100,000 a year to live, multiply by 2. If you think you need $50,000 a year to live, multiply by 2. Is that good advice? Multiply by 2.
It is.
Life is expensive.
Yeah.
Put money away. Have an emergency fund. If things are getting out of hand either way, either if I'm being too cheap or if she's spending too much money, you have to be able to have that conversation and respect each other. We don't fight about finances ever.
No, thank God.
Ever.
Because I know that's like one of the number one causes for divorce.
Yeah, like we don't look at money the same. At all. I think we have very different viewpoints. Like Megan looks at money like, hey, let's go and live. We work hard. Let's buy nice things and live this life that we've wanted to live. And I see some of that too, but I'm like ultra conservative and I'm like, what if the world ends tomorrow? We need to have all of this money set aside and we can have an empty house. That's okay. Mm-hmm. So we're very opposite in that, but I think just having the mutual respect between one another is what really can save it. Mm-hmm. And again, don't be afraid to check one another. When I pull up the credit card statement and I'm like, Pottery Barn, Amazon, what's all this?
He'll say it was a high month, Megan.
Yeah.
It's a high month on the credit card.
And set goals, right?
Yeah.
Every month we set a goal. We fail every month, but except
we try.
We set the goal and we exceed our spending every month. But
yeah.
Here we are.
Travis loves to just like be as close as possible all the time.
What's up? Good to see you.
Can I open it now? Cherry Barcia, that's where it's at.
So I'm trying to get Megan to do a live review of the Built Bar. She won't do it. This is her favorite bar. I actually bought her these for Valentine's Day. I know I'm such a sweet guy. I actually don't like that flavor. It's the Cherry Barcia. She loves it. It's her favorite. Personally, for me, I like the cookies and cream, but why do you like the Built Bar so much?
It just tastes good.
You heard it here first. And they're only around 160 calories, almost 20 grams of protein. Someone like Megan, who doesn't eat a lot of protein, definitely needs them. I eat them because I need protein as well, but also they just taste so good. They're convenient. I can grab them and go when I'm at work. They are literally perfect. Are you gonna tell them thank you for sponsoring the video?
Thank you.
I used code Travis to save 15% when I was checking out, and you guys can do the exact same thing. So using Travis15, I'm gonna leave that linked down below. You can save 15% on all the flavors of Built Bars. You can get the variety box so you can pick and choose which you like the most. The chocolates for me are the best. I just don't like cherry anything, but Megan, if she has a box, they will be gone within the week every single time. For my other chocolate lovers out there, definitely check out this double chocolate, 130 cal, 17 protein, amazing. Even little Alfie boy would agree, although he can't have chocolate, he just knows. You guys already know the California Pizza Kitchen barbecue chicken pizza is the best frozen pizza in the entire world. It's always a nice little treat on a Saturday. I think that is going to be it for this video. Things have been a little bit crazy around here, so sorry this wasn't too exciting. Just a casual sit down. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your day to watch. I mean, you could have been doing anything in the entire world, and you chose to spend a few minutes with me. That is pretty awesome. I look forward to talking to y'all next time.